Okay, and action.
Well, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to episode 2 of Los Movie Hermanos. I'm Javi. David today's behind the camera. It's a chilly day in October, as you can see by my jacket. Perfect time for a movie. Roll the intro, David. So, in my honest opinion, I hated this film. It was really slow. It was boring. I felt like the story was incredibly weak, which I've started to notice a lot in Ridley Scott's films, that he lacks a lot of story and he makes up for it in visuals. But I really did want to like this film. It was a Harrison Ford film. He's played some of my favorite characters like Indiana Jones and, of course, Han Solo. But this movie was just, it was bad. I hated it. It was an awful detective movie. It was a visually good movie though. Visually, I was very impressed though that they used very little computer effects in it. It was mostly all practical effects. Came out the same year as Tron too, and Tron's an awful film too. But yeah, I just didn't like the film. I don't know how this has such a huge, cult following. I mean, I guess I understand it a little bit because it was the first in this kind of neo-noir punk genre. But yeah, just in my honest opinion though, I just didn't like it, and I'm really looking forward to the new one. Hopefully the new one will make up for a little bit of the old one and I can appreciate this one a little bit better after watching the new one. But Ridley Scott, he hasn't been doing too good lately, especially with the recent Alien movies. Another thing that really bugged me about the film too was the fact that everyone keeps debating about whether Deckard is a replicant or not. To me, it didn't come off that he was a replicant at all, because most of the footage that was from his dreams, the unicorn and the origami, that was all added after the original cut of the movie. And really, Scott just had a bunch of leftover film, and he bought some stuff too and just added it on there. So it wasn't in his original vision, and really Scott has a habit of just changing his mind on a whim about things. So that's why I don't believe that the character of Deckard is a replicant. Even Harrison Ford has said it. In the original book, he's actually human too. So I just don't see how Deckard is a replicant. I don't see how people can argue about it. To me, it's just really simple that he is not a replicant. So as much as I didn't like the film, there were a couple of things that it did manage to get right. One, showing how bad the character of Deckard was. I hated the character of Deckard. I thought he was probably the most boring character in the whole film, next to Rachel. But yeah, he was just awful at his job. He didn't do much blade running for being a Blade Runner. He was a shitty detective too, which is kind of a detective story. And the most detectiving he did was just sit on the couch saying, enhance, enhance, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, other than Rachel, he just seems super mechanical. And also too, their on-screen relationship or their on-screen chemistry, there was none. Rachel's supposed to be the most advanced replicant that the Tyrell Corporation has made, and she just seemed to act super robotic. It was terrible acting. They had no chemistry together, and it made it really weird for that awkward rape scene. But yeah, it was just, I hated both those characters. I didn't think they did a good job. The most interesting character by far in the movie was Roy Batty. Roy Batty really understood the concept of humanity, what life really meant, and he appreciated life. And you can see this when he decides not to kill Decker and pulls him off the roof. The only complaint I had about Roy Batty's character is when he strips down to nothing but compression shorts and starts chasing Harrison Ford around. There was even one scene that actually really made me laugh because he pops his head out of the wall and he's like, I don't know, it just reminded me of this scene from The Shining. Other than that though, yeah, great performance by Ruckus Howard. I think the movie would have done a lot better had it been from his perspective instead of the perspective of Deckard. But yeah, I just felt like that character was very underutilized in this film, and it's a shame too because he was probably, my favorite character and the most interesting character out of everyone here. So there's two things that I really hope for in this new Blade Runner film. One thing I'm actually kind of expecting, and I know will happen, but the first thing that I'm really hoping for is kind of the expanding of the Blade Runner universe. Maybe we get to see some off-world things, see the replicants doing some of the dirty work, some of the colonization. That'd be pretty cool. And I think we have the special effects to do that. So it'd be amazing if we could actually get a look at the outside world. Two, I hope that we have a little bit of a richer antagonist in this one. Jared Leto looks pretty cool, especially with the glossed over eyes, like the kind of really mechanical android eyes. It reminded me a lot of Ghost in the Shell. So I'm really hoping that his character is just utilized a little bit better than Roy was in this version of Blade Runner. And then the one thing I'm expected is to just kind of be blown away by the special effects. Ridley Scott always does a really good job with that. He usually lacks in story, but he makes up for it with effects. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to this movie. Can't wait to go see it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. We still have our giveaway for It, for Stephen King's It, the original movie. We're giving away the Blu-ray copy and a pop vinyl. So if you guys want that, just leave a comment below. We'll pick one out. We're also sending out a couple of Halloween things too with that. So yeah, it'll be a fun little package you guys can receive. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Have a great night, you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Philip K. Dick.
Oh my god, can we please?
Yeah.
Yes! We do that. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I didn't like how... I bet you someone in the comments would be like, oh, like, you're terrible at your job.
Wait, how about you look at my nuts? That's what I was saying.